June 17, 2008. Dawn breaks over Tokyo, pale and soundless. Inside the Tokyo Detention House, fluorescent lights flicker on across concrete halls. For Tsutomu Miyazaki, inmate number 1624, the day begins like any other until it doesn't. The guards move with quiet precision. No announcements, no warnings. In Japan, executions come without notice. In cell block 1, the air is dense, still. Doors remain shut longer than usual. Footsteps echo with purpose. Somewhere down the corridor, a phone rings, brief, final. By mid-morning, the warden signs the final order. 3 names, typed and sealed. Among them, Miyazaki. Lunch is served, untouched. The tray is taken away without a word. Outside, the sun climbs past the walls. Inside, time folds in on itself. At 10:01 a.m., a call is made to the Justice Ministry. Approval confirmed. The mechanism moves forward, silent and unseen. Within the hour, preparations begin. There will be no appeal, no farewell. Only the slow turning of routine into ritual. But behind the quiet formality of that morning, the nation's memory stirred. Because this was no ordinary killer. What followed would not only shock a country, but redefine the face of evil itself. In the records, he was inmate 1624. To the public, he was something else entirely. Between 1988 and 1989, 4 girls disappeared from quiet neighborhoods in Saitama and Tokyo. Each was between 4 and 7 years old. Each case ended in horror. Miyazaki's crimes went beyond murder. Bodies mutilated, corpses defiled, blood drained, flesh consumed. He returned to the remains, slept beside them, wrote letters to the families, mailed packages no parent should ever receive. When he was arrested in 1989, a search of his home uncovered shelves of videotapes, over 6,000 in total. Horror films, anime, pornography. The media gave him a name, the Otakumurderer. A nation looked inward, unsure of what had just surfaced. The trial stretched over a decade. Psychiatric evaluations, public outrage, legal appeals. In January 2006, Japan's Supreme Court upheld the sentence. There would be no more hearings. Only time remained. And not much of it. Early morning, June 17th. The cell doors remain closed, but footsteps approach. In Japan, executions come without warning. Yet, within the stillness of death row, something always shifts. Tsutomu Miyazaki awakens in his solitary cell inside Tokyo Detention House. Fluorescent light cuts across bare walls. Outside, the city stirs to life. Inside, a quiet knock. 2 officials, expressionless, deliver the notice. No explanation, just a date. Today. There are no reports of his reaction. No final statement recorded at that moment. For years, Miyazaki had sat through proceedings with a vacant stare. At trial, he spoke of a rat man, a figure he claimed controlled his actions. There was no remorse, no confession, only detachment. This morning, it is likely the same. His final hours have begun. The routine now belongs to the state. Beyond the prison walls, the decision had already been made. Justice Minister Kunio Hatoyama signed the execution orders quietly. 3 names, 3 deaths. Miyazaki's among them. Hatoyama, appointed less than a year earlier, had quickly gained attention for his firm stance on capital punishment. 13 executions had taken place in the 6 months before this day, a sharp rise from the years prior. The machinery moved without pause. Despite pressure from international observers, the European Union, Amnesty International, there was little domestic debate. Prime Minister Yasuo Fukuda would later affirm, public support remained firmly in favor. No stays were filed, no legal motions intervened. Inside the detention house, there is no record of a final visit. No confirmed presence of family, legal counsel, or clergy, only silence. If there were goodbyes, they remain undocumented. If there were prayers, they were said alone. In the final hours, Miyazaki remained unreadable. Throughout his trial and incarceration, he showed no remorse. His answers were often fragmented, abstract, at times nonsensical. He blamed the murders on an imagined figure, Rat Man. A crude drawing of the character was submitted to the court. To the end, he described his acts as a kind of benevolence. Psychiatrists observed detachment. The courtroom saw indifference. His words wandered between delusion and deflection. He existed apart from the weight of his crimes. There is no record of his final thoughts, no transcript of last words, no glimpse into what passed through his mind as the hour approached. If fear came, it was not shown. If acceptance, it was silent. More likely, he remained where he had always been, inward, distant, untouched by the world closing in. The inner world stayed closed. The man who horrified a nation said nothing, and the walls said nothing back. By mid-morning, preparations were underway. Inside the Tokyo Detention House, the final procedures unfolded behind closed doors. The specifics, if he shaved, changed clothes, or ate a last meal, remain unknown. Japan does not disclose such details. The process is designed to be quiet, controlled. Miyazaki's belongings, including his vast collection of videotapes, are not mentioned in official accounts. No statements exist about what was kept, discarded, or sent elsewhere. There is no record of requests, no final words offered to staff. The focus of the day remained logistical. Orders received, timelines followed, corridors cleared. Prison staff, trained for this duty, moved with practiced solemnity. From cell to chamber, it is a short walk. What Miyazaki felt in these moments, if anything, was not shared. Only the schedule remained, and the steps left to complete it. Tsutomu Miyazaki was already housed inside the Tokyo Detention House. There was no transport, no convoy, just a short walk from his cell to the execution chamber. It happened early, before the day outside could fully begin. The phrase used, taken from his cell. The corridors were silent. No observers, no spectacle. This was the design. Even as Japan began releasing names and charges after executions, the process itself remained unseen. The path was short, but final. Concrete underfoot, fluorescent lights overhead, a guard on either side. There were no crowds, no ceremony, just a system carrying out its final task. The atmosphere, tightly controlled. The air, heavy with routine and finality. At the end of the corridor, the chamber waited. No visible hesitation, no recorded resistance. Just a door closing behind him. The chamber was quiet. Inside the Tokyo Detention House, the final act took place behind a sealed door. The execution room, plain, sterile, stood ready. Officials were present. Prison staff, a ministerial representative, possibly a prosecutor. No family, no press. Just the minimum required to carry out the law. There is often a chance to speak, one final statement. But Tsutomu Miyazaki said nothing. No apology, no explanation. He remained, as ever, unmoved. Unrepentant to the last, the reports would later say. The formal sentence was likely read aloud. The mechanism activated from an adjoining room, silent, unseen, no struggle, no words. At a precise moment, the platform gave way beneath him. It ended as it began that morning, quietly, deliberately, and the chamber was still once more. June 17, 2008. The sentence was carried out. Inside the Tokyo Detention House, at a precise, predetermined moment, Tsutomu Miyazaki was hanged. One motion, a single mechanism, and then stillness. By evening, the nation was informed. On June 17, 2008, Tsutomu Miyazaki was declared dead. Two others, Shinji Mutsuda and Yoshio Yamasaki, were executed that same morning. Justice Minister Kunio Hatoyama addressed the press. He confirmed the hangings, calling the crimes indescribably cruel. His decision, he said, was to realize justice and uphold the law. This brought the total number of executions under his tenure to 13 in 6 months, a sharp acceleration. There was no delay, no reprieve. Prime Minister Yasuo Fukuda affirmed the position. Capital punishment would continue. Most of the public, he said, supported it. Outside Japan, protest followed. Amnesty International renewed calls for abolition. The European Union voiced concern. But within the country, few voices rose in opposition. Do you believe the death penalty is ever truly justifiable? Or does it only deepen the cycle of violence?